Good afternoon. My name is Tracey Michell. I'm from the Gilsehue House. I'm here to present on the Healing Treatment Center. Before I begin, I want to, my report is on page 9 of the AGA report. And I'd like to thank the Chief and Council from our member nations and our Board of Directors for their support on this initiative. We needed a lot of political support for our financial support, and this was the biggest budget in our AGA report. And I also want to thank Warner for stick handling all of the political issues that we had to deal with our partners, with our major funders, which is FNHA and Indigenous Services Canada. So this report I'm presenting you today is mostly in relation to the current issues. The report in the AGA report is mostly related to our 2023 and 24 initiatives through the fiscal year. So throughout the year we did, and currently we still continue to provide updates and issues with our Board of Directors along with our chiefs and elders. When we look at our Healing Center, oh, they didn't tell me what to do here. Big green button, I heard. So here is the initial plan. Travis gave a little scan of this on his report. We have not deviated away from this plan. We've maintained the integrity of the design, of the initial design that we've had when we met with our community members. And we really had to discuss, Travis talked about the change orders, and we really had to make a decision-making matrix on our projects. So we had Warner's responsible for the budget schedule and the scope to make sure we don't deviate away from it, and we've maintained our updates with our Board of Directors. And Unison is our primary consultant, and they're responsible for maintaining the integrity of the design and to certify all the construction components. And Signia was responsible for the construction management. And they're responsible for looking after for the construction and also for hiring the sub-consultants. And we've formed a committee for our change orders, so before it's approved, so we have a little subcommittee who's responsible for reviewing the change orders and making sure we have sufficient funding and it's within the scope, and we determine whether or not it's in or outside of the scope of the existing contracts. So we have our partnership with either Wesley Jones or Mark Fitzmaurice from FNHA and Carly from our core management, and she's our consultant on this project. Our scope has not changed as well. Travis touched on this on his report. We do have our 46 beds who are supporting up to 36 individuals who are needing treatment for addictions, and up to 10 supports for individuals requiring detox. As he mentioned, we're still working on the continuum care, where we're trying to establish the needs for aftercare. And if we were going to provide housing for aftercare, where would the location be? And so we're still assessing that. As I mentioned in my AGA report, we were looking at the initial cabins. There's up to 10 cabins on site right now. And so what we wanted to do is we wanted to see if we could use that as a continuum of care. But over time, as we kept assessing these cabins, it turned out that it's not salvageable because of all the material that was used to build the cabin. So we have to spend a lot of money to mediate and address the asbestos issues. So Jason Morgan will be managing that initiative. Oh yeah, I keep forgetting that the screen's right here. I gotta say thank you to our communications team, because this is a beautiful setup we have this year. I appreciate it. Yay, thank you. I forgot about this screen here. I was stretching my neck over here to see if I got everything on there. Sorry guys. I'm all distracted here. And I think that Travis, I don't want to repeat what Travis had already said, but he's largely looking at the operations component and the partnership that he's established for the services. It's a big initiative that he's taken on because we're transitioning from a seasonal 14-bed service delivery to a 46 full year, all year round service. So it's definitely a lot of staff and a lot of work and initiative that's going on with both Warner and with Travis, and now with Mike. So it's a big initiative, and the chart that he demonstrated with all the staff, I'm just very proud of the work that we're doing, because we're working in partnership with Travis to make sure that when we construct a building, that all the space is being occupied and used for not only for the individuals, but we also have the proper human resources to provide the service. So we've also, like, one of the consultants, one of their major jobs is to make sure that we review the budget and it aligns with all the different contracts we have in place. Like, we had some key initiative dates here. We haven't, some things have changed on this. This is the same calendar or schedule I provided at the last AGA. And you'll see there was 2 big changes on here on our construction completion and our grand opening. It's estimated to be completed. It was originally estimated for completion in November. Now it's pushed back to April. And then the grand opening is right around the summer of July 2025, so it was pushed back from 2025. So we did have some major setbacks there when we were looking at our subcontractors and our involvement with the roofing, and as well as some of the electrical work. And we're still managing to address those issues. And we've had to have some special meetings with our construction manager and our architect on these issues. So I mentioned, like, we do have it's taken a team to move this project forward in terms of operations and the project management and our consultants, and also to manage our stick handle, our funding for operations. And I just want to thank our team members for that. It also involves our IT, like our internal planning from our existing staff, where we're relying on our IT and communications team and Travis's team to make sure we manage if there's any changes made to the design. We did have one change to the design. We managed to rectify that, and so it didn't impact our activity space for our service delivery. And so I just want to say that throughout our project, like, we're looking at a 7-month delay overall. And we're hoping, we've had a special meeting with our consultants and our construction manager, and we've asked them to try to stay within our design, so we're not having to deal with more change orders and more delays. And we did mention and highlight, like, the major initiative that we're dealing with is impacting the lives of our people. And we've stressed that many times. It's not just a construction project for us. It's the completion date is so significant for us because it has an impact on the members that we serve. And I heard your voices loud and clear in terms of the need of this service. We've had to really manage Travis and our board of Warner and our board of directors really had to do some risk management. When Chris had reported on the amount of budget increase we have, it was a risk management strategy where we had to make sure we had sufficient funds to manage the monthly expenses that we're exceeding in our project. It was actually impacting service delivery. So it was a lot of work for us to have these resources in our accounts, so our construction project is not interfering with our service delivery. So I just want to highlight that. I know it was a concern that was mentioned earlier today, but it's important for you to recognize that it took a lot of work for us to be in this position. And I'd also like to mention, like, in addition to this project, I'm also involved in other initiatives. And Rhoda had already mentioned the long-term continuum care. There was a report that was produced from that, and we had upwards of 9 recommendations. And the challenge we had with that long-term continuum care was that we were conduct an engagement on behalf of Indigenous Services Canada. So the questions were structured in a way that they can get feedback, consistent feedback, not only locally but nationally. Because we participated in this project to represent all the northern 54 nations in BC and northern BC. And also I was involved in a research on poverty and presented this report to the Ministry of Social Development and Reduction. And also want to highlight, we do have upwards of 30 to 40 people on the job site, and we have like 2 to 3 Indigenous people on the site. What we've done is we stressed in our RFP when we set out our proposal that we wanted to make sure that we had Indigenous people involved in the site, because we wanted to promote local employment, local business and local employment as much as possible. So we stick-handled as much as we could on the beginning of the project to make sure that this had happened. And at the time when we started the project, we were working. There was a lot of development with industry, so there wasn't a lot of interest from our Indigenous population to work in this area, and so we're doing our best to work with our trades to make sure that, with our construction manager, to make sure we have as many Indigenous people working on the project. And we had to rely on a request for a proposal initiative to maintain our standard on that area. And I think that's my report. I think I missed some slides, but I'm not going to go back to it.
Thank you, Tracey. See that there's no questions online. I can barely see, but I'm seeing you. Yep, good. All right. Anybody on the floor have any comments or questions for Tracey?
Going once?
Going once.
Okay, he has the video.
Oh, okay, so
that's right, I forgot about it.
Jordan did some magic here. He's got another video that
That's part of the presentation.
Tracey will narrate.
Yes.
All right.
I will do that. I'll watch this one here. Yeah, Jordan from our communications team, we've made some, during our site visits, we have monthly site visits, and he's come out to the most recent site visits, and this is where we are with our construction project. The location is out at Tachick Lake. The former location is at Tachick Lake Resort, just past the Saikaz Nation. So here you can see like the 5 major buildings, the detox, the administrative building, the workshop and activities, and the two long arms are the unit for the treatment facility, and then at the very end we have a workshop and our greenhouse. And subsequently on our greenhouse, we're unfamiliar in terms of trying to provide that service and what this is going to look like for our communities. So we're trying to provide sustenance for our members, but also try to use it as space for therapy. So we had to work in collaboration with Marilyn's team to make sure that we're able to provide that sustenance or therapy space throughout the season. And here you can see like we're still doing the roofing in our administrative building. This is the setback. We should have been at this time, we should have been at this place in December last year. So we've resolved all these issues, and our construction managers made sure that they increased more employees so that they could expedite the construction of our roofing. We've had to do some, get an arborist in on site as well, and we found that some of the trees around the area, they're not very healthy and they're falling. They could cause harm to the construction, potentially cause harm to the construction, but also to the existing structures we have in place. So Ben and Jason are working on making sure we get an arborist in place. And we also want to make sure that we maintain the integrity of the nature and its positive impact to healing. And so we had to make sure that when we do remove the trees, that we maintain the integrity of the ground to protect the building, and also the front to protect the water from decaying the land. This is the detox wing. You can see all the little black holes on the side of the wall. Those are all the windows that are cascading. Each one of these windows, they cascade and they face towards the water. And it's so beautiful, and it's very magical when we go in there. And every time I've been there, I've taken a picture of the view that the individual will have from their room. And it's just so peaceful. It's very beautiful. And we saw the vision from our elders when we met with them, when we started initiating the plan, and they mentioned how healing the land was for them. And we wanted to make sure that they all had that image of the land during their healing process and when they're in their own little space. So you can see the roof. The roof is coming up here. We ordered like 65% of the material for our roofing right now, and then the remaining will be delivered in the first week of November. So we're hoping to get the building wrapped before the snow falls, and then we can start doing the internal requirements for the building. And I think that really says everything of what you've seen right now. You can see the windows there, the cascading windows. I think you'll be excited when you go to the grand opening. It's absolutely beautiful. And thank you so much for your time. And Jordan, thanks for your help.